Hey y'all, welcome back to another stream. Let me put up the distracted sign because I am definitely 100% distracted today. There is no getting around that. I already knew I was going to be distracted before I started streaming, and then I'm just getting texts from people about family stuff. Yay holidays, right? So yeah, I'm going to be sorry. I'm actually going to mute myself for a bit. I don't have a mute flag. But let me I'm gonna put my phone over for a moment. Okay, so hi guys, welcome back to another stream. I've been doing November Novel Challenge stuff for a couple years now. It was under a different name, but this year I chose my own name for it because I stepped away from the organization that I was doing it under previously. I am also streaming for charity. BabyDJ.org is a local charity that helps families in the community basically have a Christmas. So check them out, babydj.org, if you feel so inclined to donate directly. You can also, if you're on Twitch, you can donate bits to me. You can sub to me. You can watch ads. Those will help. Those will be donated directly to babydj.org in early December. Twitch finally put up the notice that revenue takes about 48 to 72 hours to update. So now I have that time frame of when I'll know for sure when how much revenue I'll have for November. But yeah, all November revenue from Twitch goes to babydj.org. To that effect, I do run ads hourly. The first one will be in about 11 minutes-ish for Twitch. YouTube, you don't have to worry about that for now. And yeah, so but I am currently, I had a busy day today. I'm not as exhausted as I was yesterday, but I am admittedly tired. I had trouble sleeping last night. I had an early call this morning. I had errands to do. I still have a couple I have a house chore thing to worry about. And then a couple things to finish up there. I'm not too worried about those. Those can sit. I am cooking tonight, but it's nothing chop heavy, so we're going till 6 today. But I do have some family matters to attend to, so I am going to mute myself. We're going to be doing Stream Raiders today too, so every Stream Raider session I will be getting up and also running to the other room to take care of the chore element. It's laundry. Alright, so give me a second. I'm going to address my family again, mute myself while I address it. Then we're going to check the poll to see what the POV that we're going to be switching to in a moment will be. And then, yeah. So I'm going to mute myself and I will be back shortly. All right, I think the majority of the flurry is done for now. But yeah, so that was fun. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to check the straw poll. So if you have any votes to throw that way, now's the last chance to do it. If you don't care, by all means, don't worry about it. Just turning my phone screen off. So that way if I get a notice, I'll give that notice. All right, checking the straw poll results. Actually, here, I'll count it down. 3, 2, 1. All right, checking the straw poll results. All right, and I figured that would be it. The winner is Vanessa, so we're going to change it to the friend's POV. My mental thought is, you know, if this does, like, either we'll keep the story as being a Sylvia only perspective, or we can bounce back and forth between Vanessa. And from this POV, we can get Vanessa's POV, maybe even flesh out her character a little more, other than being the sick friend, the sick bubbly friend. So this will help. And if I find that I enjoy writing Vanessa's character, then I can, or we can. Oh, I shouldn't have closed that page. Oh, well, I'll come back to it if I need to. Anyway, if I find that I enjoy writing from Vanessa's POV, we can go ahead and write it. I can go back, and when I do the edits, I can filter things in from her perspective. Maybe even change some events to be from her perspective. All right, Twitch viewers, just a heads up, there is an ad incoming in the next 4 or 5 minutes. This is your heads up. All right. So we have that. I don't have any new polls to put up for you guys just yet. Oh, I said we're going to do Stream Raiders, right? Okay, so let me pull that up. I had it preloaded before I started the stream, just so, you know, you guys don't get to see me click through all those things. Okay, maybe you get to see a couple. All right, 10 pawns, 5 battles, equip a skin, place 5 mages, kill 3 ranged units, earn all the gold. So close, apparently. And then do duels. Well, I don't know that many other captains to do duels, so we're just going to come here. Click this. Start battle. Do I have any mages to put down? I do. Okay. And these guys are basically turrets, so I'm going to have to do that. Thanks for helping out. Oh, I've got to set a reminder to check in 29 minutes. So let me set my little wristy watchy. Okay. 29. Go. I'm gonna let. Okay. More family stuff. Hey, Milo and Boots, how's it going? All right, so let's get back to where were we last time? Oh, that's right. Celia's going to ask her mom a question about Vanessa. Jeez, I'm going to get emotional, I think. Her mother frowned and nodded her head slowly as she listened to her daughter's stream of thought. And it's not something your dad can handle? It's medical related. Vanessa? Sylvia nodded. Why don't you just ask her? Well, Sylvia hesitated and suddenly became interested in her now cooled bagel. We were about to sort things out last night, and I don't want to get her upset with me again. Would she be the type who would get upset at you for asking a question related to her medical situation? No, I don't think she would anyway. But I also don't want to risk it now that we're friends again. Her mother let out a very tired sigh. Sylvia wasn't sure if it was more of a yawn that she was channeling into a sigh, or if she was just sighing and it was being impacted by her sleepiness. Either way, her mother did respond. What sort of question did you have? All right. Bonnie. Oh, okay. Yes, I do remember you. And cool. I also have more than one YouTube account, although this is my streaming one. I have another one just for viewing LawTube and things like that. So I totes get it. But if you prefer Milo, I will call you Milo. That sounds good. All right. What sort of question did you have? Sylvia shifted in her seat. And then asked, oh, my brain. I know where I wanted to go with this. Yeah. Is it possible that Vanessa could have had cancer for more than a couple years? Sylvia's mother blinked at her. And then let out another, albeit although shorter. Either way it works. It's the same word count. Sigh. You're right, she said, finally. This is going to require a conversation that will take more than a few minutes. Okay. So I think that might be a good point to jump to the next scene, which will be Vanessa's POV, which will be interesting. I don't really do the whole jumping around in time thing. I prefer to write chronologically. So that's why I'm waiting for the edits before if we do decide to stick with Vanessa's POV in the finished version. Vanessa's mother blinked at her and then let out another, although shorter sigh. You're right, she said finally. This is going to require conversation. Okay. Okay. Sunlight poured in through the white curtains above her bed. Vanessa stared up at the curtains. Nope, that's not how you spell curtains. Stared up. Well, I don't think I want to announce that it's Vanessa right off the second paragraph. Here we go. Staring up at the white gauzy fabric. The young girl, or the young woman, watched as the fabric swayed gently as it was blown around by the air conditioning. Yeah, May, it's pretty bright around 7 a.m.-ish. Okay. With a yawn, she sat up in bed and raised her arms above her in a gentle stretch. Feeling the muscles of her back Maybe I'll stretch. Oh, that feels good. Tighten and then release. With the motion. Always felt good first. I gotta try to find out words other than good. First thing in the morning. Okay. Nodding sleepily. She brushed the hair out of her face and kicked her. And stood out of bed. So, like, I'm picturing Celia's room as kind of like a dark room. Like, the walls aren't white or yellow. They're like maybe, like, my bedroom wall is blue. So I'm going to just like say like a blue or maybe even like an emo black color. Celia's not necessarily emo, but maybe a purple. I think purple would go good for her. Like her room is just all sorts of like dark, especially because she likes to paint and stuff, and unless she's using, well, no, that's more cooking with oil, never mind. But still, I picture her room being kind of like a darker cave type thing. While Vanessa's room, I'm picturing more like beigey walls, light white fabrics. Maybe even one of those live, laugh, love pillowcases somewhere or signage somewhere. That's not going in the story. Well, maybe. Word fluff is word fluff. But either way, with Leon, she set up in bed. But yeah, either way, it's so I kind of want, like, visually, their brains have, or their rooms are very, damn it. Give me a second, I'm muting myself again. Sorry, y'all. It's probably gonna happen a few more times. Just as a heads up. Okay, but yeah, I was saying, oh goodness, my brain doesn't want to work. Yeah, I'm just saying, I feel like Sylvia and Vanessa are like, maybe I could make Sylvia emo, kind of emo, faux emo, FOMO. FOMO. Anyway, but these two characters are completely opposite. Like Sylvia's blonde, and I never really described her body build, but I'm going to assume she's kind of thin, maybe even small, or short, petite. While Vanessa, I've already described her as buxom and brunette. I should probably flip the body types around just because, you know. Oh. Anyway, brain is going on tangents. I did say I was distracted, so I'm not lying. Y'all know I'm not lying here. But let's get back to writing. With a yawn, she sat up in bed and raised her arms above her in a gentle stretch. Feeling the muscles of her back tighten and then release with a motion always felt good first thing in the morning. Yawning sleepily, she brushed the hair out of her face and stood out of bed. Feeling the thick rug carpet. Feeling and so it's going to be a carpet, but I want to have more to describe it. Feeling the thick, not rugged. There's shag. That's the word I'm looking for. Feeling thick shag carpet under her feet. She wiggled her toes to feel the squish of the fabric beneath her, I said feet, toes, soles? Beneath her soles. It felt good to, dang it, I did that again. It felt good to have this texture beneath her feet. First thing in the morning, she realized it helped her wake up. Realized YouTube account is 4 months older than 4 months older than you, or 4 months older than your account? Because I don't think this account is that old. Maybe a couple years, but definitely not older than somebody who's old enough to, you know, type phrases on YouTube and write murder mysteries. Oh, okay, so it's the parent account, not this particular one. Got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense then. The Onya account is definitely, the Onya branch of the account is definitely younger than the parent account. But yeah, the parent account I've had for a hot minute, I guess, so I could review stuff. So yeah. And belated happy birthday by a couple months. Alright, feeling the thick shag carpet under her feet, she wiggled her toes to feel the squish of the fabric beneath her soles. It felt good to have this texture beneath her feet first thing in the morning. She realized it helped her wake up. I'm just blanking on what I want to write next. Okay, if she realized it helped her wake up. Just go through the morning routine, I guess. Changing out of her night clothes and into the clothing she had set for the school day. Vanessa mentally began now let's rephrase that a little bit. Gingerly changing out of her night clothes, a nightgown, she'll wear a nightgown, and into the jeans and t-shirt she had planned to wear for the day. Vanessa mentally went over what she wanted to accomplish that day. This Monday. First, get dressed with as little pain as possible. Second, get to school and talk with Sylvia and catch up on all the things they had missed in the last week or so. If it meant asking Tom to give them some space, she would do it. Excuse me. She would do it. There were the classes to attend, of course, but she was confident that she was going to be okay in them. All homework had already been done, and no teachers had assigned anything new over the weekend, and likely wouldn't with exams pending. Really, the major points of the day were to reconcile directly with Sylvia. The major point of the day was to reconcile directly with Sylvia. The rest was all routine. Grabbing a... I know there's multiple types of brushes. I can't think of the one I'm thinking of. It's the one, the squishy brush. I'm gonna say detangling. Grabbing a detangling brush, Vanessa watched her face, watched herself as she pulled the... I can edit it later, and even if I'm repeating the words. If she pulled the brush through her thick, long brunette hair, she winced each time the brush bristles made contact with any sort of knot in her strands. For most of her hair, it wasn't an issue, but the space just at the nape of her neck was always the worst. It didn't help. The knots always seemed to be at the base, seemed to be almost directly next to the skin either, which made trying to brush them out that much harder. Eventually, with much groaning and complaining, the young woman had accomplished her task of detangling her hair. Now she needed to decide how she wanted to wear it. A ponytail was always nice because it kept... Yeah, my fingers want to keep writing helped, so we're going to write helped. Because it helped keep her hair from dangling and her face as she worked. But lately she was finding that her skin was the ponytails she normally preferred to wear were may be contributing to headaches that she was getting by the end of the school day. With a face, she set aside the hair tie she initially planned to use and picked up a couple of matching clips instead. Today, she'll try keeping her hair out of her face with these and see how it goes. I don't have thick hair, so I don't know what it's like to have thick brunette hair, to be honest. Hair clips always fall out of my hair, like, within maybe an hour. I'm just gonna pretend like they're gonna stay in her hair just fine. No issues. Let's see. Eventually, with much groaning and complaining, the young woman had accomplished her task of detangling. Okay. Today she'll try keeping her on her face with these and see how it goes. Her eyes scanned her dresser to see if there was anything else she wanted to accessorize with today. She typically didn't wear jewelry or makeup, but she always liked to collect them just in case. In the end, she decided against most everything, but did put on a nude lip gloss. Not nude lip gloss. Did put on a tinted, I'm say rose tinted lip gloss. lip gloss. I can't. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, dokie. Give me a sec. Okay. I'm back to writing. But did put on a rose tinted lip gloss. Finally done with getting ready for the day. Vanessa made her way out of her bedroom, sparing a glance at all right. Hydrating. Let me get close to the microphone so you hear it. I drink up. Thank you. Alright, finally done with getting ready for the day. Vanessa made her way out of her bedroom, sparing a glance at a live, laugh, love poster that was hanging by her door, and shook her head. Her aunt had gifted her that in an effort to lift up her mood a few years ago. Things were looking especially bad. Not that they were looking much better now. Okay, let me finish this line. Then we'll check stream raiders. Looking much better now. But who knew what the future held in store at any point. Alright, so let's check stream raiders. Alright, it's just me. Let's see how well my mage does. Okay, we are going to curse these guys. And let's go. Oh, she did pretty good. You have to place 5 mages, don't have to win with 5 mages, so that's a plus? Question mark? So close. Alright, continue. Alright, let's go ahead and we're going to try again. Okay, the mage is on cooldown for a bajillion minutes. That's fine. We'll try with the vampire. Alright, we're gonna do our thank you for helping message, and I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna do a bit of laundry, like literally just like folding like 5 or 6 things, and then I'll be right back for more writing. Alright, see, that wasn't that long. Alrighty. I'm not hearing any music coming from stream. Oh, there it goes. I feel like every time I put on my headset, it's like, is my music playing or not? I don't know. Give me a sec. Okie dokie, artichoke. Not that they were looking much better now, but who knew what the future held at any store? Held in store at any point. Shaking her head, she left her room. And walked down the short hallway to greet her parents in the kitchen that separated the majority of the house from the bedrooms. So for this house, there's the bedroom, hallway, kitchen, and then the body of the house, or the living room of the house. Designed for quick midnight snacks. To greet her parents in the kitchen that separated the majority of the house from the bedrooms. Her dad had already been through, as evidenced by a half of a pot of coffee sitting on the maker. He often woke up early so he could make it to his office before the rest of his staff. Yeah, I need to establish what kind of doctor he is. I think he's general practice, but still. Her mom, however, was not yet awake. Or at least out of her room. So Vanessa knew she had a couple minutes to herself in the kitchen. She looked at the various breakfast options. Lately, her appetite hadn't been erratic. Some days she would not want to even look at food, and others she could eat an entire fridge worth of food. Dang it, that was a typo. An entire fridge worth of food, if given the ability. If given the option. She left a fairies in the pantry. Okay, hold on. She looked at whether she can eat an entire. Today, she wasn't sure which of the two extremes she was closest to. She knew she wanted food, but didn't have a particular, I want to say hankering, but that's not, no. but didn't have a particular desire for anything specific. Deciding on a toaster pastry. Decided she hadn't had a toasty pastry. That's a different thing. Toaster pastry in a while. She reached up and pulled the box down from the cupboard, from the pantry, and began to actually no, here, even better. In her digging, she found a box of cinnamon apple toaster pastries. Deciding that she hadn't had a toaster pastry in a while, and liking the sound of apple cinnamon, she reached up and pulled the box down from the pantry and began to open it. What's that? Came the familiar voice from her parent, from the hallway. Vanessa turned her head to regard her mother and held up the box of toaster pastries. Look what I found in the back of the pantry, she said. Her mother shook her head. You know that's not good for you. I gotta write it. Good for you, she complained. Complained or explained? She complained, walking into the kitchen with her daughter and taking the box out of her hands. I don't even know when we got these. It was so long ago. If they're not bad already, they must be filled with bad chemicals that'll just wreck your body. Vanessa found herself internalizing a sigh. I feel like the sigh is like the calling card of my stories. Everybody sighs. Excuse me. Vanessa found herself internalizing a sigh. Of course, her mother would be against something filled with sugar that promised a sweet breakfast. If they're so bad, why do you have them? We must have bought them when you were in remission, she explained, casually dumping the box into a trash bin. One sec. I like it better. You must have bought them when you were in remission, she explained, casually dumping them. So, because it came back, I'm not allowed to have anything sugary. Vanessa challenged. This wasn't the first time they'd had a fight over food. But it also wasn't a fight that Vanessa was willing to back down on. Her mother's expression went from, honestly, she went from dismissive and stern to, I want to say frowny. Her expression went from stern to frowny. But no, and it's not morbid. Oh, goodness. Word options are failing me today. I'm going to say frowny just because it's silly. It's the only word I can think of right now. And because I know when I get to editing this story, it's going to just, like, if this section stays in, it's going to be edited and I'll find the right thesaurus word for it. Okay. Okay. Her mother's expression went from dismissive and stern to, I actually want to say down. No, not downtrodden. Has a different connotation to frowny. Your cancer came back. So if you want the best chance at surviving until you have the ability to do the treatment, her mother started. Wow, her mother started. And the best thing to do is make sure you only put good things into your body, she explained. Vanessa shook her head. But what if I'm okay with not surviving? Graduation. Vanessa, like, that's kind of morbid, honestly. No, Vanessa saw, like, Vanessa's not that headstrong of a girl. She backs down. She fights, but she backs down. Vanessa saw the look on her mother's face and frowned as well. I know what you're getting. I know why you're saying that, Mom. But the prognosis doesn't look good anyway, even if I do the treatment. You heard what the doctor said. There's still a chance. Her mother had in before Vanessa had a chance to reiterate the sentiment that she likely wouldn't live past the summer. As long as we take every precaution, there's still a chance. We're taking a big risk letting you finish school without any therapy. Please. Please let us... I don't like please let us. We're taking a big... And this might change because I feel like there's cancer pills now that aren't as bad. But that's editing and research that I need to do. There's still a chance for Mother Cutting before Vanessa had a chance to reiterate the sentiment that she likely wouldn't live past summer. As long as we take every precaution, there's still a chance. We're taking a big risk letting you finish school without any therapy. Please. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, my eye is twitching. That's fun. You know what? I didn't start the timer for String Raiders. Oops-a-daisy. Give me a second to finish this paragraph or sentence, and then I'll take a look. We're taking a big risk letting you finish school without any therapy. Please. Please take care of your body as best as you can. In the meantime, do the rest. Oh, I got a phone call. I'm gonna mute myself. Sorry about that. Not sure what that was all about. I think it was the wrong number. I hope. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. There's still a chance. Her mother cut in before Vanessa had a chance to reiterate the sentiment. Oh. That she likely wouldn't live past the summer. As long as we take every precaution, there's still a chance. We're taking a big risk letting you finish school without any therapy. Please take care of your body as best you can in the meantime. Do the rest that the doctor ordered. Rest like the doctor ordered. Fill your body with only fruits. Well, instead of fruits, I wrote friends. Fill your body with only fruits and vegetables. Limit the sugar and the fat. And maybe the carbs. Her brows furrowed. Her brows furrowed as her voice lowered and trembled. You may be okay with what's coming around the bend. But Vanessa, I'm your mother. It's selfish, yes, but I want to keep you around as long as possible. All right. How much time do I have on this? 8 minutes. Okay. All right, so look at my clock here. Okay. It was an argument a plea, really, that her mother had used on more than one occasion. Especially after the recurrence was confirmed. Every time her mother used it, Vanessa backed down. It made sense. What mother wanted to outlive their child? There were some arguments where it didn't make... There were some arguments where it didn't seem to have that much weight. Such as when she tried to convince her mother to let Tom drive her home instead of allowing her mother to do the honors. Her mother complained that it would take time away from... It would take... I remember having this conversation when my son started driving himself to school. I'm like, I need to get up early with you so that I could at least see you out the door, because otherwise it's taking precious bonding time away from us. Precious bonding time away from her. But then agreed to allow Vanessa to experience the time with her boyfriend. Her mother did not explicitly know that Tom was her boyfriend, but she had a feeling that she knew. This argument, however, was not about Vanessa spending time with people. Of course, she never got to see them again. This was about food that was going into her already failing body, and her mother's desperate attempt to prolong or even avoid the inevitable. Vanessa weighed the situation in her mind, and eventually she answered her mother. I like my sugar, she started, but if it'll make you happy, I'll figure something out for breakfast. A smile cracked onto her mother's face. And the older woman nodded. If you want, I can make some egg whites and toast. Vanessa blanched at the thought of how plain that breakfast would be. Maybe some oatmeal and Apple slices? I can do that. Another agreed. Alright. So that was a good start for Vanessa's side. Twitch viewers, just a heads up, there is about 4 or 5 minutes before an ad runs for you guys. Just FYI. Okie dokie. Sorry, my brain is just tired. Okay, I can do that. Her mother agreed. Alright, so we're going to go on to the next scene, which will be at the school. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, where was I? Again, y'all, I'm easily distracted, so don't mind. Okay. After breakfast and after her mother had dropped her off at the school, Vanessa stood by the spot, walked over to the entryway doors and leaned there against the wall as she watched the other cars of parents and students drive up to drop other cars drop off the kids. One thing I do with my characters is making the way they call their parents a hint on what they think of them. Like when my characters calls their dad old man and their mom mother dearest. I mean, that is a good, that's, a good thing to do for the characters. I don't think I've gotten, I think the characters, Sylvia's really close with her parents, for sure, but I don't think she'd call her mom mother dearest. I don't think any of my friends would call their parents mother dearest, unless they're being, facetious, to be fair. But it is a good way to establish relationships. You are definitely not wrong, so that might be something to look into. Alright, back to this. Vanessa walked over to the entryway doors and leaned there and leaned against the wall as she watched it. As she was watching, someone tapped her on the shoulder, causing her to jump. Her stomach ached at the motion, but she ignored it and turned toward the offending poker. The offending tapper. Standing to her side was Tom. Grinning, but also looking a little confused. "Hey, beautiful," he said. "Hey, yourself, cutie," she said. Oh, hold on. Alright, I'm muting myself again because I might talk out loud. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, oh, it is way past time to do the stream raider, so let's take care of that real quick. Oh, I feel bad for that person who was waiting on me. Alright, and let's start the battle. Oh, that guy's zooming. Good job, the band. Yeah, viewers get the higher share. Okay, cool. Very, very good. Alright, let me take care of army and quests real quick. Alright, and let's continue the campaign. Mage is still on cooldown. These two, these two. Well, that is rude. Alright. Minimize that, and I'm not going to fold laundry for a bit. Okay. Okay. It's a very distracted day. All the messages. Alright, hey yourself, cutie, she said. Returning his grin. Haven't found you here in a few days. he said, observing the fact that, or rather, referring to the fact that that when she was mad at Sylvia, she would return, she went straight to her class instead of resting here and waiting for her friend to come back. Alright, I have a pickup line I wanted to use. Your crush but never used it. Are you a criminal? Because it's illegal for you to be this hot. She ended up dating another guy, so I never used the line. Aww. Well, keep it in your back pocket, because you might be able to use it somewhere else. Might have to use that on my husband. Alright. Vanessa smiled. Well, it could be. I'm hoping to reconcile with a friend of mine. She explained. He knew very well that she had, that Sylvia was planning on reconciling. Did he know? I'm gonna say soon. But he had no idea that she had called her friend the night before. Oh yeah? Then I wish you the best of luck with that, he said. He sounded authentic. And so Vanessa rewarded him with a bigger smile. Thanks. She practically chirped. Her eyes scanning once more for the vehicle that she knew her friend would be arriving in. Hey, Tom? She asked. She wasn't, she felt like she was beginning to shake. She really didn't want to ask the next question, but knew it should be done before. Oh, and we can get her to let him know eventually too. That's right, because I hadn't established that he knows about her stuff. Oh dang it, I forgot to set my watch again. Alright, so the 2-minute mark, or 2-hour mark. Okay, anyway. Hey Tom, she asked. She didn't really want to ask the next question, but knew it had to be done before Sylvia showed up. She just really didn't know if he would think it was rude or not. Yeah, he answered, leaning on the wall next to her. She smiled at his gesture. He was so cute. She didn't want to ask him to step away to give her space this morning, but it felt... She really didn't. He wasn't making the request that much easier either. You know, I like being around you, right? Yeah, he said, his brows furrowing in confusion at the way she was presenting her request. Hopefully he wasn't going to take it the wrong way. Vanessa took in a large breath to steel herself, and then said, well, I like being around you a lot. Like, a lot. Inwardly, she winced at the unnecessary repeated phrase. But I kind of want to spend this morning with Sylvia, if you don't mind. We'll hang out later? Again, if you don't mind. He looked down for a moment, and Vanessa steeled herself. Of course. She just told him, she just asked him to give her space. And although she tried to be gentle and say that they'd hang out together, he was probably thinking that she didn't want to be with him at all. Which was absolutely not the case. She opened her mouth to try, which was absolutely not the case. She just needed this morning away. That was all. I don't mind, he said, looking up at her with a half of a grin. I kind of had a feeling that you'd want me to buzz off once you and Sylvia started talking anyway. I wasn't going to ghost you, though. I wasn't going to ghost you. I wasn't going to assume anything. I wasn't going to assume anything, though. So I came around to look for you. And honestly, I was going to offer I was just about to ask if you wanted me to leave you two alone this morning. Relief washed over Vanessa, and a beam came from her glossed lips. Whew. Just wondering, what genres do you prefer? I normally prefer fantasy genres. Fantasy, maybe a little bit of cosmic horror. Didn't do too great on that either, now that I'm thinking about the stories that I wrote in that genre, but it's mostly fantasy. And not high fantasy either. Mostly sticking to humans and magic. And not urban either. It is fantasy settings too. So mid fantasy, I suppose. Yeah. Rainy relief washed over Vanessa, and a beam came from her glossed lips. Let's rephrase that because that sounds weird. A smile crossed her glossed lips. That sounds better. That's relief. She said, before leaning over and giving him a peck on the lips. Technically, kissing wasn't allowed at school. Right now, there wasn't anyone watching them. And it's not like they were making out or anything. That was reserved for when they were in his car. I don't say gleefully, and I don't want to say gladly because that assumes that we know what he's feeling. I'll say eagerly, because you can tell when somebody's eager. He eagerly returned the kiss, and then his eyes shot open, and he quickly stepped away from Vanessa. Hey. Vanessa turned to follow his gaze, and there was Sylvia walking closer to them. Hey, I guess it's my time to go. Vanessa turned, and there's Vanessa walking closer to the two of them, looking uncertain. She gave her friend a wave before turning back to Tom and nodding. I'll catch you between classes, she promised. Later, he winked at her, gave a nod to Sylvia, and walked into the school's main corridor. A little morning makeout routine? Sylvia asked, watching as The young man disappeared into the crowd of students. Nothing like that. Vanessa chuckled. The pain in her stomach. Oh, what if it's... Oh. That makes more sense than... Sort of makes more sense than... I'm gonna Google it real quick. Oh, I can't type. It can occur at any age. Could be it. Yep, I think I might go with that. Okay, anyway, where was I? The pain in her stomach flared again at the gesture, but Vanessa ignored it as she brushed a strand of hair over her shoulder. I was just giving him a quick kiss. Goodbye. Goodbye. Sylvia. Wow, still can't type her name even if she isn't the main character. Sylvia raised an eyebrow. For the day. And shook her head at her friend's skepticism. At her. Is this skepticism? Is it curiosity? Who knows? Oh, you think you're the only person who uses customer service smile as a word for smile? Made by someone when facing a difficult person or by someone who's mentally tired. I mean, you might be. I've worked in customer service, so I know exactly what you're talking about. But honestly, fake smile is just easier to say. Customer service smile is good for word fluff, though, if you're trying to get word count. Plastered on their best fake smile. Even if you're faking the smile, they can hear it through they can hear the smile through what you're saying. I'll be glad to help you, Mr. So-and-so. Alright, anyway, where was I? For the day, Vanessa grinned and shook her head at her friends. I'm gonna say skepticism. I'll work that shop bit later. Skepticism. We just agreed to keep the morning between you and me. And I'll see him later in the day. Oh, Sylvie said as she realized the situation. It was nice of him. Actually, he said he was going to offer to do it, but I actually beat him to the suggestion. Vanessa shrugged. Like, it was no big deal. I think we were both thinking the same thing. Sylvia shrunk back a little. Shrunk back a little as... I can't type. As Vanessa was saying that. We both wanted the morning just be between you and me? She asked. She sounded doubtful. Miss nodded. Believe it or not, Tom is a pretty good guy. Celia sighed, adjusted her backpack, and looked again into the corridor where Vanessa's boyfriend had disappeared. Well, I didn't know him too well before, but as I'm getting to know him for you, I guess I've got to agree. He doesn't seem like a bad egg at all. Alright, new point of view, Thomas. We get to see his evil side. Mwahaha. Nah. Some guys are generally good. I'm giving him the treatment of... I'm basically projecting one of my classmates onto him. He's a good guy. He couldn't even say the word breast without prefacing it with chicken. Otherwise he would go beet red. He was a good egg. I hope he's doing well in life now. Hold on. A handful. I just got a handsome of emails? No, I got a handful of emails. Sorry, I'm just checking them out real quick. Okay. Alright. Alright, let's check stream raiders real quick since I'm distracted anyway. 4 minutes, okay. Okay, well, I didn't know him too well before, but as I'm getting to know him through you, I guess I've got to agree. He doesn't seem like a bad egg at all. Do Vanessa, Sylvia, and Thomas have surnames, or will they all just be referred to by their first names? Sylvia's surname is Mulligan. Vanessa, I think, is Fletcher. I've written it like maybe 3 times throughout the story. Thomas has a surname, it's just I mentioned it the first time he was introduced, and that was that. Because I don't call my friends first name, last name. I usually just say first name when I talk about them. Now, if the teacher's talking about them, you know, Thomas last name, then I'll have to go back and reread it. But generally speaking, in these conversations, there's no last name. And that's why when Sylvia's with her parents, you know, it's not Mrs. Mulligan and Mr. Mulligan, but when she's with Vanessa's parents, then it's Mrs. Fletcher and Mr. Fletcher. So it just depends what the dynamic between the characters are at that point in the story. Okay, adjusting myself real quick. Oof, and I hit the desk a bit harder than I expected. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, I guess I've got to agree. He doesn't seem like a bad egg at all. It's grand. I know you didn't like. I know I didn't. You didn't hate him. I'm glad that you're warming up to him. Regardless of how you two started. Never hated him. Sylvia, what's this look? The scrunch the face together. Yeah, I'll just say scrunch your face. Can't say I liked him either, to be fair, but I was cautious. Not curious, cautious. There we go. And yeah, I guess you could say that I am warming up to him. Only because he's doing well by you. She quickly added. Only because he's doing well. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't. I mean, it sounds fine to my ears, but I don't think a teenager would say that. Only because he's treating you. Only because he's treating you well. She quickly added. Vanessa grinned slightly at her friend. Well, thank you for your positive review of my boyfriend, she said. With returning to indicate that she was ready to make their way toward the lockers. Yeah, no problem. Have you told him about the thing yet? What thing? Sylvia tilted her head and raised an eyebrow. You know, your thing. Vanessa's eyes went wide, and she shook her head. Her eyes darting down to the ground. I don't really know how to tell him, she admitted. Alright, give me one sec. I think it's time for String Raiders. Okay, yep, it's just me. So, let's see. No, that's not good enough. We'll just give me haste and start. I died. It's fine. It's fine. Hey, I killed a range unit though. Okay. We will continue, but I will check the quests. Here we go. Sant scrolls. Okay. All good, all good. Okay. Let's try this again. Mage is still down, but Vampire is up. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to put him here. Put up the thank you for helping out message. And I'm setting my watch this time. Alright, though I have to add, when it comes to young children, they usually call people by Mr. and Mrs. And elders just call everyone by dear, and fellow elderly people by their first names. I don't know people who do that in my area. I don't doubt that that in your experience you've seen that, but in my area I don't see that. I even, say Mr. and Mrs. first name often to some of my coworkers or ex-coworkers, but some people that I know. So like I'd be like, "All right, Mr. Milo, how's it going today?" But no, I would never call anybody by dear, and then no, that's just not in this neck of the woods anyway. But I don't doubt that it's what you've experienced. Everybody's different. Let's see. I'm gonna hold off on laundry again. Got less than 2 hours, so let's get her done. Have you told another thing yet? What thing? I want to add this. Nessa blinked. Unsure what Sylvia was referring to. Sylvia tilted her head and raised an eyebrow. Your thing. Vanessa's eyes went wide and she shook her head, her eyes darting down to the ground. I don't really know how to tell him, she admitted. I want to actually say not to the ground, but to her feet. To her feet as they walked. You could tell him, let him know the same way you told me, Sylvia suggested. Vanessa looked up and over at her friend. In front of the bathroom, playing Cookie from class. Hey, shh. Sylvia looked around. Do not need the teachers to hear any of that. Vanessa laughed. That was weeks ago. If they didn't catch us, they can't do anything. They can't do anything about it. Maybe, Sylvia said, her tone returning to normal. But if they hear us talking about it, they might think we're delinquents and will give us an even harder time in class. That's the last thing I need right now. Vanessa shook her head and wrapped her arms around her belly as they walked. It was, it felt like it was on fire. She knew that nothing would happen, just the pain, happen beyond the pain, and that was something she was used to. She'd ride out the day, as she usually did, while ignoring, or at least refusing to react to the pain. Water's out. Do you think make the exam harder? Just because I think you played hooky once? Sylvia frowned at Vanessa. I'm almost positive they would. Do you think they have a copy of an exam that's 10 times harder than everyone else's? And they look for opportunities just like this to pull it out? They have to, Sylvia pointed out. Haven't you ever been told during a test that if someone misses the test, they'll get the chance to take it, but it'll be harder to avoid cheating? Vanessa blinked and shook her head. I can honestly say this is the first time I've heard of anything like that. Sylvia whistled. Nope, that's not whistled. Dang. Those online classes. Dang, I've been hearing about that since I started middle school. Miss shrugged. Not me. So she tried to change the subject. Since I vetoed the whole bathroom bench confession thing, what's your next bright idea? What's your next bright idea for getting me to tell him? They turned a corner down a hallway that led to Vanessa's locker. Well, I think the first thing, Sylvia shrugged. So it sounds like you are set on telling him? Vanessa nodded. I've got no reason not to tell him, she explained. If we do expect to be together after graduation... Nope, I got it, she explained. I need to let him make the choice on what happens after graduation. She trailed off. One sec. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I just saw something interesting. Vanessa nodded. I've got no reason not to tell him, she explained. I need to let him make the choice on what happens after graduation. She trailed off as her eyes returned to her feet as they walked. Or end it before graduation. Or she realized that she knew that once she told him, the people who knew she told him the students who knew about her situation would double. She felt confident that he wouldn't spill her secret. But he seemed very trustworthy. She felt that he wouldn't spill her secret. He seemed very trustworthy, and he seemed very trustworthy and reliable. What she was less than confident about, however, was whether or not he would want to stick with her through the entire through the rest of the semester, the rest of the year. Or what she was less than confident about, however, was what he would want to do. She mentioned giving him the choice of breaking up or sticking. She didn't mention it outright. She hinted at giving the idea of breaking up or sticking with her after graduation. But there was also the possibility that once she speaks with him, he'd want to break up with her immediately and avoid the graduation. Okay, guys, I think I found the next poll. Give me one sec to get it set up on straw poll. Straw poll. Okay. I knew I shouldn't have closed it, so create. All right. Yeah, we'll go with this. Break up now. I want to say break up immediately. break up after graduation. Again, he's a decent guy, so he's not going to ghost her. Let's see, break up immediately, break up after graduation. Stick through the rough periods. Stick through the rough. Don't break up. Stay to the end. Alright. I'm just gonna say stay to the end. Alrighty. People have the ability to vote for multiple options. Don't need names. We'll close the poll. We'll check it out by the end of the stream. We'll see how many we have. And I do like comments, so I'm allowing comments. So create poll. Alright, now let me post it in the chatty chat. If I can click the right thing, there we are. All right, and I'm going to pin it so you guys will have that basically pinned at the top. So if you're catching back up, or even if you have this on VOD, you should be able to see it. Though if you are watching it in VOD, the poll might, like, I don't know how to close polls in straw poll, to be quite honest. But if you're watching in VOD, there's a good chance, there's a good possibility, rather, that finally got pinned. YouTube was fighting me on that one. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, there's a good chance that if there's no polls or if there's no votes by the end of the stream, I'll just keep it till tomorrow. All right, sorry. Okay. I thought I just saw something, but it wasn't anything. Where was I? I've got no reason not to tell him, she explained. I need to let him make the choice on what happens after graduation. She trailed off as her eyes returned to her feet as they walked. She knew that when she told him, the students who knew about her situation would double. She felt confident that he wouldn't spill her secret. He seemed very trustworthy and reliable. What she was less than confident about, however, was that what he would want to do. She hinted at giving him the choice of breaking up or sticking with her after graduation, but there was also the possibility that once she speaks with him, he'd want to break up with her immediately and avoid the graduation, and avoid waiting until graduation. There we go. That's what I meant to say. All right, I think I've got a cat waiting for wanting my attention. I will be right back. Hello, lady. Taking this chance to get my water too. Heads up, Twitch viewers, there's an ad coming in 3 or 4 minutes. Oh, where'd you go? There you are. Okay. Happy girl. Alrighty. So tired. Ooh, excuse me. Just ran around the house for a couple seconds while I took care of the cat. Well, I dressed the cat. I'm so tired, guys. You have no idea. Let me check my phone, make sure nothing new came through. Nothing importante. East Coast, it looks like you're getting a snowstorm if this weather forecast is accurate, so be prepared. My eye is twitching again. No, I didn't mean to. Oh, well. I was closing all my notification or my apps and I accidentally closed them. I wanted to look at it again. Anyway, where was I? Yes. Easily distracted. But we're good. We're good. We're Gucci, right? She hinted at giving him the chance of breaking up or sticking with her after graduation, but there's also the possibility that once she speaks with him, he'd want to break up with her immediately and avoid waiting until graduation. That would be another first for her. If that was the case, if that ended up being the case, that would be another first for her. Her first breakup. Not first breakfast, her first breakup. Of course. It would be her first either way, regardless of when it happened. If it happened. What are you afraid of? Sylvia asked, bringing Vanessa out of her thoughts. Oh, sorry. Vanessa shook her head to clear it. Oh, yeah. So, I've told you that I have my, like a tablet or something with Twitch on it so I can see, like, just check ads and things like that. Sometimes the ads run on this tablet, sometimes it doesn't. But apparently they got Jason Momoa and one of the Chris guys, the Guardians of the Galaxy Chris, to be in a Monopoly Go ad, which, like, my mind is blown. Anyway, okay. Oh, sorry, Vanessa shook her head. To clear it, obviously I can't type. Why do you think I'm afraid of something? She asked, trying to play innocent. Because Sylvia started. You called yourself a coward in the past, and typically, well, in the time that I've known you, you generally get a certain anxious way when you're afraid that something you're not going to like is about to happen. Attack. And also couldn't help but give a small smile. Her friend really did pay attention. Yeah, she admitted. I am afraid. I don't know what he's going to say. She said, a deep sigh, a deep breath filling her chest, and then before she let it out in a slow sigh. Sigh, not sight. Okay, time's up. Let's check stream raiders. Oh, we got people. All right, 40 seconds till we go. I'm not going to do ages because that doesn't help. I'll curse at least one of the thingies. Check before. Oh. Check that out in a slow sigh. I need to drop battle plans because I think that's one of the daily quest thingies. So next one I'll have battle plans. Alright, we are going to curse the towers. Go! Oh, gave buffs to shields. Oops. I don't think there's any. army go! Oh, I died. Heal them! Good job! Yay! You guys did good! There you guys go. Congratulations. Right, collect. Alright. Let's make the army happy. Okay. Oh, we got a boss to kill. Like a boss. The Queen plots your defeat. Stop them before it's too late. Okay. My guy. Alright. My rogue. People are gonna laugh at me. Yeah, I'm gonna laugh at you. Alright, so I'm just gonna put my rogue here. I'm just gonna do the battle plan. Everybody can just vibe here, please, and thank you. And thanks for helping out. Alright, let me set the timer. And let's go. Back to writing. We have about an hour left, so maybe about 2 minutes or 2 of the 2 Stream Raiders things left. I think that's fair. Maybe. We'll do 2 more. We'll do this one and then one after that. I am distracted. Alright, so yeah, while I'm still distracted, let's just check all my stuff. Nothing immediate to... I'm just gonna refresh this real quick. Okay. Thank y'all for indulging me that distraction. Let's get back to writing. Alright, Vanessa couldn't help but give a small smile. Her friend really did pay attention. Yeah, she admitted. I am afraid. I didn't know what I don't know what he's going to say, she said, a deep breath filling her chest before she let out in a slow sigh. Hope for the best and prepare for the worst, Sylvia said with a shrug. Where do you hear something like that? Vanessa asked. My parents, this morning. Dad's got an interview with a company today. So he mentioned something like that. With his, so Dad's got an interview with a company today, so he mentioned something like that. Like that it was his philosophy. So he mentions that something like that. So he mentioned that was his philosophy going into it. Or something like that. That's the vibe I got it playing. I like it. Ness nodded. She's probably read a phrase similar to that in books, but I might have to use it again. I might have to use it in my own. I might have to use it. In the future. Sylvia shrugged. It seems like the kind of thing you'd say. So I wouldn't be surprised. They stopped in front of Vanessa's locker. It feels like it took them forever to get to the locker, but I also got distracted a billion 56 times. Plus there's the little paragraph where she was just thinking about stuff. They stopped in front of Vanessa's locker, and the brunette proceeded to undo the lock and prepare herself for the first couple periods of the day. Oh yeah? She asked. What else are the kinds of things I'd say? She challenged, more curious than anything. Her eyes caught the painting in the back of the locker, and she smiled at the memory of the picnic. Picnic! You're putting me on the spot? Sylvia asked, aghast. Well, you made me curious, she replied, zipping up her backpack and slipping it over her shoulders. Sylvia shook her head. Her head and the duo made their way towards Sylvia's locker a few halls away. I don't know off the top of my head, she complained. But you'd probably say something like, I don't know. Always look on the bright side of life. Or something. Always look on the bright side of life? Vanessa quirked her eyebrow at the phrase. I don't hate it, but I've never heard it before. My parents, I don't... Sylvia, I was taking a bath. I saw the poll mentioned, the reaction of Tom to Vanessa's condition. Mind telling me the context? Well, Vanessa's going to tell Tom what the situation is, and the question is, you know, he's a good guy, so he's not going to ghost her or anything, but, you know, is he going to decide it's better to just break up now? Is he going to wait till graduation and, you know, do the breakup, which is what Vanessa's essentially suggesting, or is he going to just stick with her through, you know, chemotherapy and all that stuff, aggressive cancer treatment, or illness treatment, depending on which route I end up going. I always look on the bright side of life. Vanessa quirked her eyebrow at the phrase. I don't hate it, but I've never heard it before. It just came to mind. Always look on the bright side of life. Excuse Excuse me. Okay, I won't sing again. My throat didn't like it. Sylvia shrugged. I think I heard it in a song somewhere. Maybe I'll see if I can find a good time to use that. I haven't really had to cheer anyone up though. I used the word you. Okay, that's fine. So, I haven't had anyone up before though like that. So, certainly not with a phrase like that. Maybe in the future. Sylvia suggested, and then winced. Maybe. Vanessa agreed. She saw Sylvia's wince, but pretended not to notice it. She knew that she saw Sylvia's wince, but pretended not to notice it. She knew that her condition was probably on the forefront of her friend's mind. Heck, it was certainly on the forefront of her own mind. And as much as she accepted the fact that she might not be around this time next year, her mother was correct. There was a possibility that there was always I don't want to say there's always a possibility of survival, but as much as she accepted that she might not be around this time next year, her mother was correct. There's always a chance. There is always a chance. All right, let's see. I honestly don't know if the breakup happens immediately, that it will ruin Vanessa's enjoyment of her graduation. Well, it doesn't matter. Like, it depends if you want Vanessa's mood during graduation to be ruined or not. So it's not about the graduation. It's about if it happens, because she's going to tell him soon, like sooner rather than later. So she's going to. So if he breaks up with her, it's going to happen before graduation when she tells him, or she's going to be like, or we can get break up after graduation, whichever you want, or he can just decide to write it out with her. Her mood at graduation is going to depend on what Tom does. And even if he does break up with her, it's not the end of the world. I mean, I'm pretty sure you recently graduated. So, I mean, the graduation day, it's usually a blur, lots of emotions. Dating is just a small fraction of it. And the type of character Vanessa is, it's not going to ruin her day. And she's a smart enough cookie that she's not going to tell him on graduation day either. Maybe, Vanessa agreed. She saw Sylvia's wince, but pretended not to notice it. She knew that her condition was probably on the forefront of her friend's mind. It was certainly on the forefront of her own mind, and as much as she accepted the fact that she might not be around this time next year, her mother was correct. There was always a chance. All right. That is what the poll is for, to see what the community thinks. Oh, you are? Oh, Portugal. So I don't know if graduation day works differently in America. I assumed. I apologize. Graduation day in America is typically, it's different depending on schools and districts, but in my area, it was very much like I graduated in a church. My son graduated at a stadium, but it's just a lot of the kids go to the school and like it's either Friday or Saturday. Some rarely have it on Sundays. And it's basically the family fills up the seats, but the kids start the day pretty early with like a graduation breakfast for the seniors, and then they go to the stadium or the church and they do practice, and then they go home for a little bit with the family, and then they show up, and then afterwards there's like all sorts of graduation parties and things like that. In the story, it's going to be on a Saturday, but I'm going to basically keep a lot of the same things where it's like you have the walkthrough and the basically the graduation rehearsal and things like that. And yes, I'm distracted again. All right, so we are going to I'm trying to decide which scene I want to write next. We are still in Vanessa's POV, of course. Basically, want to stay in Vanessa's POV until until somebody switches it again, which is fine by me. It gives me a good exercise in practicing all this. What's going on here? Okay. My first thought was to get Vanessa confessing in the next scene, but I think maybe she's not quite ready for it yet, but I think I'll prepare for it. Okay. Hey, beautiful. Tom called to her as she approached him outside of the cafeteria. cafeteria. She smiled as he greeted her by the same nickname he always did. Alright, I voted in a poll. I also gotta say Vanessa having cancer is a plot twist I didn't expect. What type of cancer does she? I haven't decided. I'm not even entirely certain it's going to end up being cancer. But right now I'm leaning towards stomach. I could also possibly be more than one thing going on with her body, like something weakened her immune system to the point where she got cancer. But yeah, she's had it for a bit. Cool beans on the vote. I will check that out in a bit. Alright, hey beautiful, Tom called to her as she approached him outside the cafeteria. She smiled as he greeted her by the same nickname he always did. Hey cutie. She returned the greeting with her nickname for him. Since they were in the middle of the busy hallway, no kissing of any sort was performed, but they did grab hands and squeeze them gently. Salad again? She asked. She really wanted a toaster pastry. Toaster pastry, can't type pastry after what happened this morning. But she promised her mother that she would take better care of what went into her body. Did you want something else? Tom asked. The tone of his voice made it seem... seemed genuinely curious if she preferred to go to another line. She wasn't sure if he would be willing to join her in another line, since he was a vegetarian. Did I establish him as a vegetarian earlier? Well, he is one now. Since he was a vegetarian, or if he was just seeing if she would be going to a different line without him today. Either way, they'd be sitting and be in the back at the usual spot with Sylvia, so whichever line they went to, it didn't matter. She shook her head. No, just making sure, she explained. Just so you know, we are going to be sitting with Sylvia again today. That sounds weird. We are going back to the usual spot today. No more just you and I at lunch? Really? Okay. Hold on. Looks like I'm gonna have to create a new phrase for y'all to catch. I'm gonna time you out because I seriously doubt that you'll actually be back. Okay, I'm putting this on my Toto list. Bot to remove to immediately time out. Remove space. Remove the space. Okay. That's on my to-do list. To take care of later. No more just you and I at lunch? He asked, wiggling his eyebrows. Eyebrows? That'd be weird if he wiggled just one eyebrow. I mean, I guess they could, but still. No. Sorry to break it to you. But Sylvia and I have decided we're all going to stay together until graduation. Vanessa declared, a bit of a grin. Declared with a... Why a bit of a grin? With a giant grin. There we go, that's better. Oh, the things I do for love. He lamented dramatically when a sibling at him. Did he say love? Were they that far along in their relationship? Alright, she promised. Just making a quick edit. Finn, a sibling to him. Did he say love? Were they that far along in the relationship? It had only been a few weeks. Hadn't it? Do people fall in love that quickly? What is it? He asked her. She must have been staring. And immediately blushed as he as his question came out of his mouth. Nothing. She stammered and looked around, trying to find something, anything to change the subject. Nothing was coming to mind. Did he admit that he was in love with her? She didn't feel the same way for him. At least, she didn't think so. How would she know? She was panicking. She realized that she was panicking. So she closed her eyes would she know? Her heart. Due to once she realized that her heart was pounding and her breathing seemed to be more forced than usual, she recognized that she was panicking. Vanessa? Tom asked, his hand going to her shoulder. Are you okay? Okay, we got checking out stream raiders. Oh, we got people helping out. Nice, 13 seconds. As we wait for that to count down. She knew she couldn't talk right now. Okay. And we are going to curse her. Ha ha ha. And start battle. Nice. Wait, I got the kill? Oh, that's right, I had a rouge. Okay. One random. Flipio got it. Okay. Yay! Congratulations, everybody! Okay, I guess we're gonna start here. Start the battle. And I'm gonna list this one as the last one because 30 minutes from now is gonna be 52, so yeah. We're going to have a barbarian. Okay. I'll do this real quick because there's a quest for it. And last battle. Okay. And minimize. Alrighty. And let's set the watch. There we go. Okay. Vanessa, Tom asked, his hand going over, his hand going to rest on her shoulder. Are you okay? She knew that she couldn't talk right now. Vanessa closed her eyes and tried to focus on her breathing. She heard Tom call her name another time. Call her name once more, and she forced herself to nod. Adjusting myself in my seat. Apologies for any squishes or squeaky noises. Okay. She forced herself to nod. She opened her eyes and stared at his face. She honestly wasn't sure if she loved him back, but if he was truly in love with her, she would need to make sure he was fully informed. We need to talk today. We need to talk, she replied, her voice thick. Her voice thick and heavier than she expected it to be. He blinked. He blinked, confused. Talk about what? Vanessa shook her head. I can't talk about this here. On the drive home, before you drop me off, she choked out. It's terrible. Why not here? He asked. She shook her head again. I just can't. Vanessa, are you okay? He asked again, his voice filled with concern. She looked at him, gave him a forced smile and a nod, and a slow, deliberate nod. I am. I will be. I just had a thought and realized that I needed to talk to you about, she paused, about summer plans. He gave her a quizzical look. Plans that you can't talk, that you don't want to talk about here. Talk about here? He asked more for confirmation. He asked. Correct. She confirmed. Gathering herself, she pulled away from his hand that was on her shoulder and pulled the door to the cafeteria open. He was a step behind her, but she could clearly hear him say, "Say what? I don't know what I want him to say." I'm not quite at a point where I want to jump to another scene yet. He was a step behind her, but she could hear her say, "Alright, so we have a mystery. We have a mystery on our hands under his breath. What was that about?" She shook her head. And mostly to her thoughts were invading too fast. She was overthinking things. Let's rephrase that. She had a feeling that she was overthinking things. She needed what Vanessa needed. was just to be straightforward. What Vanessa needed was to be straightforward. And tell him was to be straightforward, with what she wanted to do. She didn't plan to tell him anything today or anytime soon. That was because she was putting it off. But thanks to Sylvia's question earlier, Vanessa was now determined to tell him later. Alright is more of a me thing. He's gonna say alright. What she wanted to do right now, however, was get some lunch, eat it all, and make it through the rest of the day until Tom drove her home. All right. So that scene probably doesn't need to be there. Let's see. Let's take a look at the poll. We've got one vote. I see that we've got a few viewers, so make sure to vote. If I don't get 5 votes by the end of stream, then this will carry over until tomorrow. Just an FYI. All right. Okay. Oh, we have about 30 minutes, so yeah, we'll see what we get. Okay, about to take a look at that again toward the end of the stream. Yeah. So what we're going to go ahead and do, the rest of the day passed by uneventful. Let me finish making this word correct and then okay, there we go. Drinking up, getting close to the microphone so you get the full ASMR water effect. Alrighty. The rest of the day passed by, uneventfully. Vanessa sat with Sylvia once again during lunch. Sylvia and Tom once again during lunch. The last 4 classes of the day. Vanessa dutifully took color-coded notes and made sure that her economics notes were legible, so Sylvia could make a copy and make a copy of them later. Finally, the time had come. Waving goodbye to Sylvia, Vanessa and Tom turned down a corridor that led them toward the senior parking lot. Only seniors had the eligibility, the right. Only seniors had the privilege. There we go. That's the word I'm thinking of. Only seniors had the privilege of getting a parking spot close to the school. Juniors and other grades could apply for any remaining spots as long as remaining spots, but it was first come, first serve. Anyone who didn't have a registered spot at the end of by the time the school year started was put on a reservation list, regardless of what grade they were in. Sorry, got distracted again. You know me. All right. All right, so Twitch viewers, it looks like there's an ad starting in the next 4 or 5 minutes. This is your heads up. All right, so back to writing. Anyone who didn't have a spot by the time the school year started was put on a reservation list, regardless of what grade they were in. Tom typically, Tom's spot wasn't too close to the school. but it wasn't out in the back of the parking lot either. From Vanessa's locker. So it was a good 4 or 5, it was a good at least 5 minutes. Let's type that out. 5 minutes of walking before they got to his small car. Normally, it was a pleasant walk with the two of them making small talk and exchanging pleasantries. As they made their way to the car. Today, however, was different. Maybe it was because Vanessa had already expressed her desire to talk to him about something serious. Alright. Today, however, was different, maybe because Vanessa had already expressed her desire to talk about something serious. But after the duo parted ways with Celia, they did not speak for the majority of the walk to the car. How were the last classes? How was the rest of your day? Vanessa asked awkwardly after a while, not being able to bear the awkward silence much more. This was a question that would have been asked long before the pair had left the school. But today, they were almost to the car, or almost at the car, before she had before she had asked. The question was like a weight had lifted off of the pair. The awkward silence was gone, and Tom's shoulders seemed to relax. My apologies, I'm quiet. I'm writing something about writing a prompt that I had in my mind. The genre is adventure with a romance subplot, and it's inspired by The Famous Five. I'm not sure what The Famous Five is, but that's perfectly fine if you're quiet. I know a lot of people have come in and said that they'd like to watch my videos or jump into the stream and just have me on in the background as they type. So I completely get it. That's perfectly fine. I appreciate when people talk, but I also understand the need for doing your own thing. I often turn on various other streams too while I'm doing like my self-studies for sequel and things like that. So I completely get it. Okay, so it's a 70s show. All right, yeah, I've never heard of it, unfortunately. But I mean, if it inspires you to write a new story, that's pretty cool. Get on that prompt. I know I'm the type of person, if I forget to write it, I'll forget about the idea, so. You enjoy that writing. Alright, speaking of writing, back to my writing. Got 15 minutes. The question was like a weight. I don't know if that's the right phrasing I want to use, but we'll go back and edit that later. The question was like a weight had lifted off the pair. The awkward silence was gone and Tom's shoulders seemed to relax. He smiled and shrugged. Same old, same old. He replied. Just morning lectures and notes. My physics professor someone in my physics class got the professor to agree to let us bring in an index card full of notes or formulas or whatever we decide to use it for. Oh, that's neat. Miss replied, I wish I could get my professors. Why am I calling them professors? I feel like I've had this discussion before. So it's like teacher in high school, professor in college. I don't know. I'll have to have that discussion some other time. We're going to call them teachers, though. I wish I could get my teachers to give us some sort of cheat sheet like that. Even if it's an index card. Has anyone asked? Vanessa considered the question for a moment and shook her head. No, shook her head. I don't think so. Maybe if you ask, they'll let you. Explain. What's the worst that can happen? Nothing changes. But if you ask, then you'll not only be able to have a cheat sheet, but you'll be the hero of your class. I'm curious, does Vanessa have any secrets she will take with her to the grave? As in if she'll confess a secret in her final moments? No, she's not. Like, she's pretty much an open book. So she's got no secrets like that she'll take to her grave, other than the fact that, you know, she's got the cancer/disease. She's not telling her classmates about that because basically she just doesn't want to be treated any differently. Beyond that, she's got like no deep dark secrets. Maybe that she snuck a piece of cake when she was 5. Sorry, I got distracted again. Alright. What if I don't want to be the class hero? Vanessa asked, her eyes going downward. What's so modest? Nah, why not? Tom asked. I don't know. Vanessa shrugged and hugged her. Oop, that's hugged her arms across her belly. I guess I just don't want the attention. I mean, it's not like we'll actually throw you a party or a party in your honor, Tom pointed out. True. And Vanessa agreed and then chuckled. Could you imagine? Someone getting a party just because they talked the teacher into allowing a cheat sheet. Honestly, for some of the classes, I can see it. Tom admitted. Alright, so the last Stream Raiders fight is a go. Oh hey, I still have people helping me out. Thank you, turn 5404. I appreciate it. Okay, got a few seconds. There are some really rough classes out there. Physics is just one of them. What class would Vanessa be taking science-wise? I don't know. Okay, so I just want to give everybody haste. And start. Turn, kill the light knight. Turn, kill the light knight. Good job, turn. Oh, Flipio joined too. I didn't see his name until just now. I'm sorry I missed you, Flip. Alright, let's open the chest. And we shall grant the rewards. Back to map. Alright, and that was it for Stream Raiders for the stream. We've got less than 10 minutes left. Alright, so let's take a look at the poll. Alright, so we still need more votes, volume-wise. We'll let it run until tomorrow's stream, and then we'll go from there, regardless of how many votes we have then. I'll put it up in the socials, so people have that shout-out. Well, not shout-out, but the... Oh, shoot. Antenna... I forget the term. But people get the notice that, hey, this is here. So put it up in those areas. And then tomorrow... I'm trying to think of what I've got going on tomorrow. I don't think I have anything going on. I think it's an early day tomorrow, so I think I will be streaming probably around 10-ish Eastern. 10 to like 5 Eastern, I think. So we'll keep the poll up until I start streaming. We'll keep the poll up until I start streaming specifically the writing category. So if I need to do like house chores or do co-working things, then we won't look at the poll until I start writing. But that is to be determined when I actually start streaming. So we shall see. I might sleep in tomorrow, depending on how... Sorry, I just got an email from somebody I didn't expect an email from. But yeah, depending on my sleep tonight, if I can sleep in tomorrow, I will gladly take it. So there is like a lot of things that may or may not. I might not even stream until like later tomorrow morning, like 11, 12, just depending on what we got. But keep an eye on social, well, particularly Instagram, to know when I'm about to start streaming. Make sure that you follow me or subscribe, depending on what platform you're on, to know when I go live. I know Twitch and YouTube are a little bit delayed with those notifications, but there's not much I can do. Instagram is the only one that basically is instant, or Discord. I do have my bot set up to announce in Discord when I do go live too, and so that is a fairly timely notification as well. But yeah, so Vanessa hasn't confessed to Tom yet. They're not even in the car yet. They're just having small talk. Tomorrow will be the confession and the reaction to the confession. The preliminary poll results seem to indicate that I will want to make sure that that I have all the votes in before the confession, if those preliminary results are any indicator. But yeah, I'm rambling at this point. Sorry, I'm plugging something in. But yeah, speaking of following and or subscribing, if you are on YouTube, go ahead and throw a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps all the YouTube-y things. For Twitch, go ahead and throw a follow. If you want to subscribe, that's great too. That'll help Baby DJ. And at 3 minutes left, I'm trying to fill up the time. And just a reminder, babydj.org is the charity that I don't sponsor, but I support. All the Twitch money, ads, bits, subs. If you want to sub with Twitch Prime, feel free. That is just as good. All of that revenue will be collected in December and sent to the charity via PayPal or credit card, depending on how depending on what the site is offering to take. Let's see what else. If you want to support me directly, I do have a Ko-fi page. Members who support me on Ko-fi will have the ability to get a special area in my Discord, where you will have a link that not only you can view this current rough draft, but previous rough drafts of other stories as well. They're all pinned in this supporters section. What else? Let me check a few things. We do have the community goal where if I get 200 followers on Twitch, I will start streaming the majority of the page for the rest of the month. It used to be 7 days, but considering that this week is almost done, next week is the last week, that's obviously kind of moot. So I did put it up for the rest of the month. If I get 100 YouTube viewers, it's also going to be up for the rest of the month. So either way, it'll be up for the rest of the month. I'm at 145 followers now on the YouTube, so mathing is hard. 55 followers left for, not YouTube, I've got 145 followers on Twitch, so 55 left on Twitch. And let me go to YouTube. Let me check my stats here. It doesn't show in my dashboard on OBS. Oh! Well, thank you to the new subscriber. I'm at 65 subscribers on YouTube, so I have 35 to go there. But, I'm also being bought. 65 plus 145, that puts me at another like 10 threshold. And basically, I do say every 10 supporters, so subscribers and whatnot, subscribers slash followers, so those combined, I do a live, I don't want to say live stream, a camera stream. So my next stream tomorrow will be on camera. So I'll have to get that set up because I don't currently have that set up for this whole shebang. But it's just as well because I will be ending at 5 tomorrow, whereas like right now it's dark, but it'll still be light tomorrow, so the camera will be fine. I don't have a backlight thing because my computer setup is not conducive to that, or at least it used to not be conducive to that. I think that is it. I've rambled enough. It is now after 6. So I am going to go ahead and actually wrap it up now without the rambling. YouTube viewers, you can go ahead and if you want to stick around, give me a couple extra average view minutes, you certainly can. Or you can go ahead and drop. I don't monetize my YouTube currently. Just don't have that enabled. Or I haven't met the threshold to get that enabled, so there's no monetization. If you see ads, I don't get it. It doesn't go to charity or anything like that, so you can go ahead and move on to your next video. Twitch viewers, I do run 3 minutes of ads at the end of my videos, so please stick around for all of those to help the charity. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and do that all now. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I apologize, as always, for my distractedness. You know me, I'm just all over the place. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.